Welcome back to a daily dose of good news. I used to do a lot of running. I don't now, my body won't hold up to it. But I still remember those days. Not sure I would say with much fondness. It didn't happen too frequently, but on occasions as I was running, a stone would somehow find its way into my shoe. Although it had found its own way in, for some reason it could never find its own way back out again. And no matter how much I tried to ignore it, I would always end up stopping to take off my shoe and shake it out. Invariably, I would seethe with frustration at how such a small fleck of grit could cause me such pain. Just like the story of the princess and the pea. In today's extract from Dr. Luke's testimony, we see another example of this. On a Sabbath, Jesus was teaching in one of the synagogues, and a woman was there who had been crippled by a spirit for 18 years. She was bent over and could not straighten up at all. When Jesus saw her, he called her forward and said to her, "Woman, you are set free from your infirmity." Then he put his hands on her, and immediately she straightened up and praised God. Indignant because Jesus had healed on the Sabbath, the synagogue ruler said to the people, "There are 6 days for work, so come and be healed on those days, not on the Sabbath." The Lord answered him, "You hypocrites! Doesn't each of you on the Sabbath untie his ox or donkey from the stall and lead it out to give it water? Then should not this woman, a daughter of Abraham, whom Satan has kept bound for 18 long years, be set free on the Sabbath day from what bound her?" When he said this, all his opponents were humiliated, but the people were delighted with all the wonderful things he was doing. Then Jesus asked, "What is the kingdom of God like? What shall I compare it to? It is like a mustard seed which a man took and planted in his garden. It grew and became a tree, and the birds of the air perched in its branches." Again he asked, "What shall I compare the kingdom of God to? It is like yeast that a woman took and mixed into a large amount of flour until it worked all through the dough." I don't know much about seeds, but I gather mustard seeds are tiny. How can something that small have such a huge impact? But Jesus is saying that is exactly what the kingdom of God is like. When you allow God to intervene in your life, when you open up to him, when you allow him to heal the pain in your back, when you let him take the bitterness from you, when he replaces the anger with joy, your life begins to completely transform. The lady whose back was healed had her life transformed. Yours can be too. See you tomorrow.